Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Custom Produced, where we're talking about custom statues today. What's
What's going
the
on,
what's up,
everybody?
everybody?
You got Piggy and Buck
What's
in the
good?
building with us today.
Yep.
Up, everybody?
Y'all coming through.
D3, man. What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good, man. I'm just slowly trying to
Hold
get to
on.
that point. Okay.
Hold on.
Huh?
Is that so, is are you unboxing stuff back there? Do I see stuff unboxed?
That was something I basically just quality checked yesterday. What was that? That's Quasar.
Oh yeah.
That's Quasar.
That's
So
dope
I haven't
quiz,
really
man.
unboxed it. I just made sure nothing was broken and everything. So yeah, it probably might be a little while before I really unbox them.
Yeah. That storm with no head back there is my OCD is like
Yeah, I know, right? It's work in progress, man. Work in progress.
what the guy say? How long it's gonna take for that to come back and everything?
It's probably already ready, to be honest. I just haven't contacted him. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Biggie, man, what's up, man? How you been? How's your day going? Etc.
Man,
No, what's up, man?
I finally got a break in all my work and all my 1,000 projects. So this afternoon I was able to relax, watch baseball, kick my feet up. So I'm in a good mood. Happy to be here. Happy to be broadcasting with you guys.
I mean, I'm happy for you to be here too, but that Green Bay stuff that you got on right now, I don't know. Like Buck said, you're trying to bring it back to the '90s with the you can't see the eyes and Mr. Cool on the show tonight, huh?
He's about to drop a diss track.
Buck taught me to do this. He said when you do credit card fraud, always cover your eyes where they can't make out your face. So,
It's starting to make sense now. Starting to make more sense. Matt, man, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing all right, man.
What you been up to today? How's work? How's life? How's everything, etc.
Yeah, everything's cool. Just doing some spring cleaning, yard work, garage, getting that cleaned out, that type of thing, reorganizing. Regular house duty stuff, man.
Gotcha.
That's about it. So happy to be here.
That's got to get done, right?
It does. Piles up. So.
Well, real quick, we'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Nice guys in the chat. What's up, nice guy? Luke. George, what's up, man? And Vega. 14 people watching, but no one's commenting. So if you want to say hi, you can stop by, whatever you want, man. But so I kind of want to talk today, kind of get to the subject. Basically, so we were watching that Prime One show piece the other day, and it kind of got me thinking, like, it seems like there's a lot of DC pieces on the license side, but it seems like it's flip-flopped on the custom side. It seems like there's more Marvel statues. I just kind of want to talk about it and maybe talk about, what kind of IPs that you guys want to see in the future, not just Marvel and DC, just like, different IPs that, license or customs. So what do you guys think about like the differences between licensed and I guess customs, how they seem to be more Marvel established?
I mean, I think just in general, customs are meant for they're best at attacking characters that licensed companies aren't going to do.
Mm-hmm.
More obscure characters that maybe the general population doesn't know about. So with that, they're gonna go deeper within the character lists of any IP they do, and I think Marvel is more built for that than DC. Like Marvel I feel like there's like endless characters in Marvel. So many different segments, and they built up such a huge universe. And I think it's just easier to dive into that. Then DC is pretty big too, but it's not the size of Marvel. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think it's the size of Marvel.
I mean, there are a lot of Marvel characters. I mean, and a lot of times they base each other, like characters off each other's characters. Deadpool, for instance, I think he was a character in what's that? The mercenary guy with the half the face. Deathstroke. So I think Deathstroke came out first, and I think Deadpool was after him, and it was kind of like a copy. So they do that a lot with all their guys. So
You know, I have like almost in a sense I agree with D3, but it's almost an inverse like process on like the customs because I think there's very few groups that have the flexibility to do characters that aren't mainstream in the custom world. Like I think there's so much pressure on them to be profitable for each project. Like if we look at customs, like the market as a whole in a very broad sense, they need each project to be like profitable, and so that's why we get a lot of the same characters constantly there. Like there's certain characters just keep getting done, like Venom, Magneto. I don't know if Magneto so much these days, but definitely still Venom, Wolverine. Those are like characters that we just constantly keep getting made, and there's always demand for them, right?
X-Men's a big one right now because of the
Yeah, X-Men,
cartoon as
right?
well.
And it's just like because economically they need each project to just be profitable, or it would be better because most it's like a crowdfunded effort, the way like custom projects are funded, right? And so it requires there to be the active interest before you even get to the final product for things to take off the ground. And so like the groups I see taking risks and succeeding with those risks when it comes to like characters that you wouldn't see licensed companies doing, it's usually more established groups. Like maybe that group that did like a Toad or a Blob recently,
Mhm.
right? Like if a new custom group came out of nowhere trying to do those characters, I don't think they could have seen the same success.
But
You
for
know what's
me,
crazy though too? Like to go off of what you're saying though, like people will ask for certain characters, you'll hear it, but they won't end up buying them. You know, like they'll ask for these like B level characters, but people won't buy them. You know, so I don't know if that's just wishful thinking on their end, and they're just like, man, I wish I had a free statue or something. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of times people will say they want a statue, but they don't end up buying it.
I think it's
Yeah.
multiple things. Like this is a guess, but people are just more hesitant with customs in general. Like there's um there's a much higher buy-in in terms of versus putting a deposit for a licensed piece. Usually those are like much less the amount of money you need to put forward, and then you can just put a deposit and pay the rest when it's ready to go, like fully. Or you could do a really like affordable payment plan is stretched out over a long period of time versus where some custom groups, they might take a little bit of money from you up front. It's not that high. And then the next payment might be big or significantly bigger than the first, you know? And it's that like, and even then the overall cost for a statue, someone might say they want maybe, for example, Two-Face, but they're not ready to pay like most custom groups will if they want to make it any statue, it's gonna range from like 800, 850 to like 1,000 plus.
Mhm.
And some people don't want to pay that for certain, even though it's a character that they don't
want.
like that they want.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's a character I want, but I'm not paying Batman money for Two-Face.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
They want it on the cheap, basically what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
They want the character, but they don't want to pay, like you said, like the Batman tax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's one assumption. That's not saying that's for sure, but that's one assumption on why people might be hesitant on stuff they say they do want, but they don't back.
Makes sense. What were we saying? Sorry, Matt. He was saying something a second ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, like, when I refer to custom companies, like for my reference, I'm talking about those like more established groups, like every time. So but I understand definitely what you're saying. Like, you can't just be a new group jumping into the fray and making the most obscure character you could think of.
I mean, just like LBS, when they became a big name, they didn't start off with like a B-level character. They started off with big name characters.
Yeah.
You can't start off with like Howard the Duck. It ain't gonna happen. It's like, okay, that's cool and all, but maybe 3 people will buy that. But, you know what I'm saying? So
Even though the established groups still, do those same characters, the Venoms, the Wolverines,
Yeah.
But they have the room now to do other stuff too, as well, like to do other more obscure characters and be more creative as well. In addition to that,
Yeah, I think D3 said it pretty good. I mean, Marvel does have more established characters. I mean, DC does have a lot of side characters, but nobody's running out to get a Blue Beetle, statue or some of the
I
other
mean,
side
there
characters.
was one made too not so long ago, that Prime one, and nobody
Yeah.
bought it. I think they canceled
Right.
it, didn't they?
They canceled it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
It's actually really good looking. Like, I like that statue.
yeah. But but some guys will buy a pyro for their X-Men, or they'll buy, something like that. So there's more known side characters with Marvel that people will spend their money on than the DC guys. I mean, some of the DC guys I see, one of them's, I don't know, not even, what's his name? Adam. Is there Adam Man or something like that? The Molecular Man.
The Atom.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Captain Atom.
Captain Atom.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
see anybody running out to get that.
Yeah.
So, but some of the Avengers are big. There's a lot of Avengers if you read the comics. But then again, there's at least with custom groups, they send out an interest for it first. They'll somebody will come up with the sketch and they'll send out an interest. Hey, we need at least this many guys to get on this if we want to make this done. And it's a telltale sign. You know what I mean?
you know what I like. What I like when a big name company that's well established makes a no name character and knocks it out of the park. Look at that. The not necessarily a no name character, but a smaller name character. Look at your statue that you just looked at, D3, the one that you just kind of unboxed to look at it. Which one was that one? The Quasar. And that statue looks amazing. They killed that statue. I always appreciate that when they take a lesser known character and they make it up to like it just looks amazing. Just like kind of in the movies when they will make unknown like entities in the movies, like the Marvel characters, and they hype them up and they end up being like a real good, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody wanted to see a Guardians of the Galaxy movie when they were talking about it when it first came out. I was like, who's that? But then you start watching it, man. This is sick.
So I think, excuse me, like my take on it is, I've always thought like pop culture drives the demand, like the supply and the demand of these pieces. For example, if you think back to the days of like He-Man, Thundercats, as much as we love those shows growing up, they really weren't shows. They were just big commercials to buy Mattel toys. You know what I mean? And I mention that because if you think about the reason why a lot of companies custom licensed anywhere in between maybe doing more Marvel than DC, is because for the past decade, the MCU has dominated pop culture. And even though it may be dying down a little bit now, where people have maybe had enough of it, you still have big things coming out like Deadpool, excuse me, like X-Men cartoon. Both of those are really popular right now. So if you have a choice and you're producing statues, I'm even gonna throw mines out there. Everybody knows I've been wanting a Martian Manhunter forever. But if I was running a licensed company or even a custom company, I would be like, we're not making a Martian Manhunter. Who's everybody talking about on X-Men? Make a Gambit, make a Cyclops, make a, you know what I mean, what's hot, because we know that they're gonna sell and push the money out there. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot more Marvel than DC now. Because even though they're like, you have the comic fans and there are way more probably DC fans than Marvel fans as far as like mainstream pop culture, the DCU, like that movie verse has been trash. For, even though I love the Zack Snyder films, shut up, Buck. the DC films have been trash for a long time. So nobody's really, I mean, the Trinity characters like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, people are gonna always buy if you make a million of them. But like your example, a Blue Beetle, or if someone said, all right, we're gonna drop a Granny Goodness, you may sell 5 or 6 of them because those are niche characters. But if you say I'm gonna drop a Professor X, you have people lining up to get that Professor X because the X-Men are hot right now. And I think that's why we're seeing more Marvel leaning. Like every company out there is pretty much producing Marvel, specifically X-Men pieces right now, and maybe a few Deadpool pieces because that's what's hot.
I saw Etrigan. Somebody was doing an Etrigan.
Custom group, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got enough people to produce that piece too. I know that it went out not long ago, and they were asking people that were interested, but I think they got enough backers for it, so
Yeah.
it should be getting produced. So I mean, that's a definitely, people know that character, but it's not on top of most people's list. I don't think.
Right.
Nobody's like a Etrigan collector,
Or Granny.
So, yeah.
Go make a Granny.
So I don't know. I just thought this was an interesting topic because it just seems like the license companies, for some reason, like Prime One, they're just DC, and mostly Batman, and that's what they make, and then you see a lot of DC in the license space, but and you see Marvel too, but just to the degree of, it's like 70% DC and the rest is Marvel and other IPs, it seems like. But with the custom groups, it really seems like it's mostly Marvel. It's like 90% Marvel, and 10% DC. So
you think it's because there's so much DC available in the license that opens the lane for the customs to make more money?
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of the issue is, because there's so much of it. I mean, there's a whole company dedicated to DC, Prime One, yes, they have other IPs, but it's mostly DC stuff, mostly Batman. So
I got another question though. So could it also be the coolness of the characters? I mean, think about it. And this just popped up in my head. Like, what's the equivalent of a DC Omega Red or the DC Sabretooth? I mean, who's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what character
they've got iconic villains. I mean, they've got Joker, they over again.
Yeah, but Joker's. Well, yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, okay, that's the iconic villain.
You know what you don't see a lot.
You got Doomsday. Doomsday would be like your Sabretooth.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see a lot of Superman's villains being made, do you? You see a lot of Batman's villains being made. But you don't see
I think Marvel is just better and just more popular. To be honest,
I think Marvel is more popular, but it's mostly just because a big reason for Marvel's popularity. The truth about it is a lot of collectors don't read comics, like at least currently, it's the movies. And what's big right now, or at least for a while previously, was the Marvel movies. DC was like AWOL, they're missing in action. So I think that's why DC's presence in the statue game, at least for the custom market, is not that strong.
I mean, I could play devil's advocate with that idea, because I would think that custom producers are more. They've probably read comic books, growing up, and when we were reading comic books, like our people, like my age and all, like a lot of the custom producers, they probably came up when Marvel was big in the comic book era. DC was kind of taking a backstage, and I think a lot of them came up reading Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there was those DC lines that would hit, like the Death of Superman and that kind of stuff, but it was few and far between when I was reading comic books. It was all about Marvel, So I think DC's gotten bigger over the years.
I think something else we're overlooking. Well, just real fast, something else we're overlooking is that another thing or another lane that's opened up for customs is a lot of the license companies, they'll start a Marvel line and then they'll stop. So if a custom can swoop in and pick up the opportunity for you to complete that line, because I hear all the time, like, this company started out with the Fantastic Four and I got one figure, and then this company statue. This company started out, I got 2 characters. You know what I mean? No one completes the line. And then here comes a custom company where they're like, we'll give you the 2 that you're missing, or here's all 4 of them that you can pair up together. You get more of an opportunity if you're someone that likes to complete a line when you're collecting, to do so when you're dealing with custom groups, because more than likely, if one piece is successful, they'll keep producing the next piece in that line. Whereas if it's not lucrative enough, it seems like the license companies just stop 1 or 2 characters in.
Yeah.
I think even for customs, it still goes back to that profit incentive. And like I mentioned, like it's very crowd-funded. If the group of people that you're trying to get the pieces out to, they don't show enthusiasm for DC, because we've seen groups that have tried to push DC, and they'll tell you, if you go ask the commissioner, they'll say like nobody wants it. Like they'll tell you, like, if you talk to the commissioner that's trying to make DC stuff, the fervor for it isn't there. Like
They've got plenty of licensed stuff though. That's what it is, I think. You know,
come on, even the you say like they have licensed stuff, but it's not really that they have a lot of licenses. They have a lot of Batman statues. Like if like it's not, if in terms of other characters, we recently just got our first Penguin. Now Prime One teased a picture of concept art for Riddler, and people are like, finally, you know, it's like. But in terms of the DC characters we're getting, it's Batman rogues, and not even all of them, and it's a lot of Batman statues. Right, a Sideshow even bought it to make like a General Zod. Do they even have a General Zod? Like, and that's one of like the big Superman villains.
Prime One, they made a General Zod not too long ago. It had that black cape and the more modern look to him.
Prime One has it, but the reason why I mentioned Sideshow is that Sideshow has been around the longest out of all these companies.
Yeah, and
like Superman is like one of the big poster boys for DC, and that's one of his big villains. Have they made him? You know,
I don't know. I don't think they have. I
don't think so. And
hey, Buck, I don't mean to cut you off real fast, but I got to address this hate in the chat real fast. Keesis,
I knew it.
Keesis, you could just sense when he's around, all the hate. Just you can feel the hate. He wants to know, why is Buck here? And then hold on. He says he hates customs.
Oh shit.
And then he goes, why is Piggy here? He's an elitist. Well, I'm going to address you real fast, Keesis. Have you even bought a custom yet, Keesis? So what are you here for?
Man,
just to spread hate? Is that what you're here for?
If the anime customs count, then I guess he's bought some.
Well, I know Buck has bought in customs in the past. I know he's got anime customs, and I know Piggy's got customs. So that's why they're here, Keesis. If you really needed to know that.
Jarhead, the key question is why wasn't Keesis invited?
Oh, I mean, he's invited anytime he wants to. I just,
no. Well, let's not tell lies. You're not invited, Keesis. You're not welcome here. You may leave whenever you.
He just got to tone down the hate a bit. That's all.
He's not capable.
What's up, Keesis? But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting topic, man. And I don't think that's a lot of people talk about that there's differences as far as IPs, in the different, licensing custom groups and stuff like that. So, well, what about you, Bat? You have anything else to put in your 2 cents about that, or about this?
Oh, I thought you meant about Buck. I mean about Keesis.
No, not about Keesis. Forget Keesis.
What now?
No, we were just talking more in detail about, the differences between, it seems like customs do more Marvel and, DC does, more licensed stuff. So,
no, just what, I was like, I totally agree with what D3 said. I think the side characters are more, you have more Marvel guys, more side characters people like for Marvel than you do.
More popular characters, I think.
Yeah, more popular. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, Patrick had asked you a question earlier about your Silver Surfer.
So it's funny So I was actually I was getting ready to answer him in the chat, but I can answer him on there. I'm glad he brought it to my attention. I never really paid much attention to it. And I'm looking around my room and I'm comparing it to some of the other quarter scales. So the answer I would say would be yes and no. So when I look at some of the pieces like the OG Batman, he's about the same size. The body is about the same size. But then I look at some of the Red Sonjas. He looks a little bigger he looks like a quarter and a half compared to the Red Sonja. So I think it's going to vary between the statues. You know what I mean? Like he's in line, he's kind of in line with the Omega Red.
Yeah, the Mega Red's a little bigger too. He's like that in between third scale and quarter scale.
But he's also smaller than the Selene and the Lycan that I have from. He's bigger than the Selene and the Lycan that I have from Hollywood Collectibles. So I think it all depends, but the he's in the same size as the Omega Red and Wolverine. I mean, the Wolverine for the Omega Red, that Dio, the Wolverine is bigger anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, in his size. So that being said, he's kind of, I would say he might be considered a little overscale for a quarter, but he does not, but barely, just a little bit. Now the base, I don't take the base into consideration when I scale statues, especially something like this. The base is pretty big. The base makes the statue almost 30 inches deep. So it's the base is pretty big on it. But as far as scale of the body, he fits in quarter, but might be on the bigger side of the quarter. So I hope that answers this question.
I got one more observation about the disparity between like IPs between customs and licensed companies. I think one major reason why we see more DC and this is on the license side is because Sideshow has a monopoly on the Marvel license for North America, quarter scale. I think that's the big reason that we don't see much Marvel from licensed companies. There has to be a reason why no other company, except for like small Chinese companies or like occasionally do Marvel pieces in quarter scale.
Yeah. So you think Sideshow's like the big guy, and they're
they know that
keep it basically.
Exactly. They I feel like they bought exclusive rights to that. I don't know how long the contract is for years, and like maybe they renew it periodically.
They probably do.
That's the only explanation why a company like Prime One does not have Marvel pieces getting made.
Well,
like
and think about it.
Comic
XM is the only other one that does a lot of Marvel, but they're not licensed for that.
Exactly.
You can't buy them here. You have to buy them through other means. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, P1 is going to get the Marvel license at some point.
Sideshow's probably lobbying behind the scenes to make sure that never happens.
Can you imagine a Prime One Marvel piece? I mean, they've had them. They've had a Venom and an Anti-Venom, and
they had to make those with Sideshow. Those were like distributed like the way LBS did with XM.
Gotcha. And you know, I think Sideshow and Prime One already has like beef, anyways, right? From when I first started collecting, they were distributing more on the Sideshow, and they had that big falling out or issue that they had behind the scenes, and they stopped shipping through Sideshow for a long time, and they started coming back recently. But they had issues too. So
beefing, man.
But I think around the times Prime was having big problems with their distribution or like their supply chain. They weren't getting stuff out in time. It was taking like 3 years, and Sideshow's like, you guys are putting up stuff for pre-order that's not even going to be in production for a long ass time. You need to like get your shit together. And I think that was part of why like that happened between them. And maybe probably money issues as well between the two. Maybe the split on like stuff was problematic for them. Eventually they came back though. They couldn't leave the money on the table.
I don't know if it's just quarter scale Marvel pieces, Glass Joe, or what it is, but I know that XM makes more Marvel stuff and they're not allowed to sell them in the States. So
but see, that's why it comes in handy also if you collect smaller scales, because if you're cool with 1/10 scales, like Iron Studios opens up a whole new world for you, because they make everything Marvel, DC, Ninja Turtles, everything. Like they have the monopoly on smaller scales. So if you don't mind mixing and matching, like if you aren't strictly quarter scale or third scale and you're okay with smaller pieces, Iron Studios is a whole new, world for you to get every character that you're into, whether it's Marvel, DC, or everything in between.
And they started doing those dioramas now too. They, besides the Sentinel pieces, they got the Infinity Stone diorama. They got the Apocalypse, the Age of Apocalypse one coming. Or actually, I think they've already been shipping. But they've got like these big scenes that you can make with these statues. So
everything. Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles, all of them.
Thinking about like Iron Studios and trying to relate that back to customs, like do you think there's possibly a market there for like custom producers to do like smaller scale stuff, or that's
I
just
think
being
so.
catered to the 3D printing crowd?
Yeah,
I think
well, that's go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad.
I think Iron Studios has such a hold on that 1/10 market that there's no room for anybody else. And the fact that they, like you said, they make everything, so there's really no room for anybody else to move in. And they do it well, so
I
Even
don't
if
see-
someone
Where I
comes
see-
in, sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
Go ahead,
where I
go
see
ahead.
other people, well, where I see other people coming in a way indirectly is like if you're ever scouring on eBay, you'll see them have a statue and they'll say you can have it in like 1/10 scale, 1/4 scale, 1/3 scale, and they adjust the price depending upon what scale you want. That's the only real competition, or not even competition. That's the only other avenue that I saw 1/10 scales being produced.
That's like the printed
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't see many customs doing that. I know a while ago they were doing custom Bowens. There was a group out there that did custom Bowen type scale statues. But I don't hear about many custom groups doing smaller scale. Now there is a couple dioramas that are coming out that are like 1/6, but that's only because those dioramas would be massive otherwise. There's a X-Men diorama coming out that's 1/6. But that's the only reason why they're smaller is because it would just be too massive. So
let me ask you guys this. I'm not trying to pivot, but it's kind of related. Have you guys noticed this trend where excuse me, you'll see like a bunch of custom groups making a certain character that the licensed companies haven't touched in years?
Storm right now.
Yeah, like now that she's hot and the custom groups are making her, I think the license companies are looking like, okay, we can grab some of that money that the custom companies are making, and then boom, all of a sudden they drop this character that people have been begging for years, and it's falling on deaf ears. And now that they see that people are going the custom route, all of a sudden whatever's hot, they're releasing it from one of the license companies.
I think I'm not saying the custom groups don't affect what the license groups do, the license companies do, but like you also have to understand that a lot of these pieces coming from license companies, they're in production for a long time before we see anything. Like sometimes it could be over a year, right? And maybe like some custom group just announced their thing like 2 months ago, and the license company has been doing this thing and it's been in production for a while now. You also like know that a lot of the times they won't even announce that they've got something cooking, and the first time you even see anything from the license company is the painted prototype. It's just understanding that these custom groups, they don't have to go through the same kind of approval processes that the license companies need to go to before they can even show you anything. Like if a custom group has an idea, they get like the sculpt going, they'll start showing teasers while it's still in work in progress, before it's even done being sculpted. They can start like generating hype. People will think, okay, yeah, this is an idea that's happening. Then they see the license company come out with it and they say they copied them. Because something very similar happened today in like the anime world. There's like an exact scene from Dragon Ball Z, like a company, a custom group, like already put their stuff off for pre-order like a couple months ago, but this year. And then the license company came out with theirs, right? And it's so similar, but it's because they're doing a specific scene, and there's no way that like from the time when the custom group showed theirs, the license company decided, oh, this is popular, we need to make one. They wouldn't have been able to get it done in time, get it approved.
But that makes sense. But how many times does something happen before it's not a coincidence? So either okay, we all know that there's some artists, some sculptors that work for the license company, and they also work for the custom companies. So at some point, somebody's telling somebody like, hey, the license company is about to drop this, or the custom company is about to drop this, because maybe once or twice, yeah, it happens, it's a coincidence, but repeatedly, somebody's either playing both sides against the middle, and then they're saying, all right, well, this group is getting ready to drop this piece, so you guys better get on the ball and drop yours too. So maybe it's been in the back workings for a year and a half, 2 years, but that still doesn't mean that you don't have, I don't want to say double agents, but people that are employed with both with both avenues
You-
because it's too much of a coincidence for it to constantly
Double
keep
agent.
happening.
It's double agents. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
bet. You could
I think
best believe they have their ear to the ground.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the case because even when Sideshow first teased the Rogue and Gambit, two custom groups immediately, like in the following days, announced their their Rogue and Gambit. Like one just like leaked a little announcement, and the other gave a little teaser. So it's like I guess they saw that Sideshow announced theirs, and they're like, "Oh, Stars will announce Stars now. You want to have a fair chance at it because what's
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a lot of people who are gonna buy multiple Rogue and Gambits from different companies. Once you get one, that'll probably be it. So,
But even to that point you gave D3 and like to Piggy, it's like that example. You first have to think what are the market forces that are pushing people to want to make a Gambit and Rogue. Sideshow would have known like years ago. Okay, we know what's going to be popular. X-Men is popular. They're producing a 1998, like whatever the year is. The X-Men show is being remade
97.
at 97, and they're going to say, okay, we need to prepare.
on that show, man.
They're thinking, okay, we gotta like prepare for that release, right? Because we want to be able to make something and release it in tandem with when that's getting released. So they're gonna start producing ahead of time. Whereas the custom groups can like act on a dime. Oh, the show's popular. Okay, time to make money. This sculptor I got, tell him to make something, and like it can look like
in that example, the license company was 1st. So it was the custom companies who, I guess, saw that and were like.
And then the inverse, like an example where it looks like they saw. I'll give you like the PCS Turtles, same sculptor as an unlicensed group. He did the unlicensed ones first. They probably saw his work, they liked it, and then they got him to make the licensed stuff. Right? He's the same sculptor for the unlicensed and the unlicensed. And like
You're talking about the Invincible guy, the guy that made the Invincible statues, or no?
Tiago Rios. I don't know if he made the Invincible.
Oh, there was because there's another guy that made a bunch of Invincible statues in the custom world, and then Kinetics. He made those statues. So, I mean, it's same thing.
Yeah. DJ.
Hey,
what's good, everybody? Piggy, Matt, D3, but
yeah, there's a custom Sentinel in the works right now, and the sculptor is the same one who did the XM Sentinel behind that Jarhead guy. So, it definitely crosses over. But I mean, a lot of both examples I mentioned, it's the custom companies taking influences from the license companies. But I'm sure, like Buck said, the vice versa exists as well. So, I mean, they both kind of exist in this like yin yang tandem. Like, they both kind of benefit from each other.
Yeah. It's just weird when you get all these companies, customs and license, making the same character. And I've got, just like you were talking about earlier, I've got several storms in the slides tonight that all of a sudden just storms everywhere, storms popping up left and right. So, it's funny.
Yeah.
One thing I find weird, like, is when the license companies are clearly hiring like sculptors because they like their work that they've done in the unlicensed market, and like they did this kind of pretense like it almost doesn't exist from the really big players. Like they'll clearly poach people from unlicensed people that are working with unlicensed groups, or they see their work there, and that influences them to say, okay, we want to work with this person. It might even be a situation where someone has built themselves a fan base in the unlicensed world, and they want to take advantage of that popularity to get like stuff made for the licensed companies. You see that happen with Franco sometimes, and then you see it happen with other names. Like, I mean, Daniel Bell used to do unlicensed before Sideshow took him and said, no more, just for us now.
Yeah.
And then there's other like artists that, they got discovered because they were doing some that's illegal. Yeah, like the customs, right? And that's how they got the ability to start working with the licensed companies, because of the unlicensed work they've done.
Well, that's part of their portfolio at that point, right? They can see their work that they've done. So whether or not it's illegal or not, I mean, you're still proving yourself at some point, you know, saying, "Hey,
100%.
this is the stuff that I can do." Rafael Albero, that's the guy that I was talking to you about with the did Invincible statues. He did a whole bunch of like custom ones, and now he's doing for Kinetics. He's doing stuff for them. So it's a history, you know. Even if it's legal, they see that, you know, that it's those statues are selling, that people like his art, you know, whether they admit that or not. But you know,
and that's the thing, that is like there's this kind of like the license groups almost pretend to be ignorant of the existence of the unlicensed groups, but not necessarily like they try to suppress it somewhat. Like they pretend like they don't know it's there, but they're actively also like suppressing any information about it. They're not allowed to talk about it in their official groups. You don't share anything about it. Like it's just something we don't speak about. And then they're clearly actively watching that space.
They're actually taking some ideas from things too, because look at the Weapon X. You think that statue company that just made this Weapon X, it's just a coincidence? Now they're making Weapon X. I guarantee they're trying to put it in a tube too, or some kind of, you know, something similar, you know. So
that's one that I'm not so sure.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious how they're going to do this Weapon X.
I'm curious how they do it, but that's one where I'm not sure if they're directly copying them or things just aligned in that Wolverine is happening and they want to release a bunch of Wolverine statues around that same time.
So randomly, 2 Weapon X statues came out at the same time.
Not randomly.
I think they had that Weapon X in the works already, but I think maybe they caught eye of the custom one and maybe they're tweaking it or reworking something. Like
that Weapon X has been. How old was that thing when it first came out? I mean,
this one,
the idea came 3-4 years.
3-4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So
that is true. It was a pipeline.
Yeah, but people don't start hearing about customs till people start posting it on Instagram and you know, people start seeing it through like, even though they said they were gonna make it like 2 or 3 years ago, it doesn't get popular until it gets painted and it's getting close to production and all that stuff. So, and people see that like, oh, where did this statue come from? How do I get a hold of it? And 9 times out of 10, it's already sold out.
Yeah, but that's the Piggy's point about being a double agent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody on the inside knows what the skinny is, and therefore they tell them what's going on. And they you know what the license company do? They sit back and wait and watch and see. Well, we'll see if it comes to full through
tuition. Flourishing. There you go. That's the word.
Yeah, if I'm a licensed company, and Matt's a custom company, and FBJ is a sculptor, and he's like, I'm gonna make a Medusa. You know, he's working for Matt. He's making a Medusa, and then I hire FBJ to make a Pegasus. And then he's like, hey, you know, they're making a Medusa over there at Matt's. You know what I mean? Here's a picture of it. Oh, yeah? Well, Matt done had a license for that. I do. When do you think they're going to produce it? Oh, we're looking at about 1.5 years. All right, Buck, start making me a Medusa over here too. Make it sort of like the one that they're making for Matt, but give it a couple of slight differences. You know what I mean? That it's conversational. That, and I think the fact of like, so this show is about customs. And then when we started, Jarhead, you was like, it was 32 people here, but only like 15 was commented because probably 3 of them are like somebody from Prime One side or whatever. And they're like, let's see what customs they're going to pull up. You know what I mean? And they're like, all right, these are the 5.
Got some 008s. Got some 008s in on.
Is that true? Are there some secret agents out there listening to us right now?
There's always secret agents.
Yeah, there.
Come on the show.
Always.
Oh man,
they're watching your mail jar here. They're like, we know it's customs coming there.
hey, D3, they're hiding in the bushes.
Well, speaking of, let's start these pictures because I have a ton of pictures, and I put some specifically in for Buck tonight because I knew he was coming on. So there's a lot of let's just say Dragon Ball statues in here. So
you doing
not a lot, but huh?
Doing Naruto in there?
Nah, just Dragon Ball. Just Dragon Ball.
They don't make that many custom Naruto statues. They do, but like it's not as much as the other stuff.
We need a new Vampire Hunter D.
Oh yeah.
The Figurama one looks gross.
This is the artist that I was talking about earlier, Rafael Albero. I'm starting to really like his stuff.
He keeps getting better.
He does. He's made a lot of statues that people probably don't realize he's made.
Yeah, this looks good. I saw some switch outs for it too. That look really good too.
Yeah, he's improved so much. This is like in terms of just like his general proficiency, his renders are better. I don't know if he's the one doing the renders for this, but his renders are better. His sculpts are better. His general grasp on musculature is better. Like he's just a better artist all around than when like he first came on the scene.
Like this rumor is not for me, but because he's just kind of just standing there. But you know, I appreciate the sculpt on him. You know,
Is it quarter scale?
I
don't know yet. He hasn't released anything yet. This is just in the art stage right now where he just made it. So I don't know if anybody's gonna pick it up yet.
I like the one with the sculpt, the portrait with the cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I like that.
That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So-
look, the have swap outs too with the blood, the hand.
Yeah. If you look at this portrait, what does that remind you of? D3?
The bus.
Yeah, right. That's different. Totally different company. I don't know. Huh?
That's what I thought about too when I saw it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's interesting.
He must have seen that and he's like, oh well, that's some reference I can take.
Well, I don't know who made that bust. It might have been, I don't know if it was him, but it's awfully close to that bust. Like exactly almost.
It's just
And
the
these guys,
opposite.
especially these freelancers, these guys that are like freelancing for like custom groups, sometimes because when they're making like I guess some like a personal project that hasn't been commissioned, but they're hoping to sell it, you know for sure they're looking at what like the market likes, what's popular, and they'll like tweak their. So he probably noticed that was popular, and he said, okay, I'm gonna give that kind of portrait because people like that.
Yeah,
that's a nice portrait.
So this pose right here with him holding Sabretooth's head, the blood coming down the claws, him smoking a cigar, I would get this statue and pose it just like that. Yep.
At least he's not just standing there.
And
you know, I don't like with his claws out. I don't like that. Like this, I'm not really a fan. But at least he's, you know, that still.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah, I would get it to pose it just like that.
It almost reminds me of the Tiago Proven brown suit.
Yeah. I do like this one though too. Like
I got that one at a painting.
That's awesome.
That one's a lot more stylized than this one.
Spider-Man. What do you think about this book?
I don't like it. It's too movie-like. It's too realistic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a bad sculpt, but I don't like the realistic approach like to this extent for him. I like him to have more comic proportions. This looks like it could be like a real person in a suit. Almost reminds me of Andrew Garfield.
Well, they even you know how on the movie they have those eyes, that mechanical eyes. That's
like maybe it is the movie version.
Maybe I was gonna say it may be.
Is this STL or it's
no? It's being made by a big company.
This is one of the more established.
I get what Buck was saying,
but it's kind of underwhelming in my opinion.
I like that.
I don't like it because it's too realistic.
So, but you don't like movie pieces?
It's not I don't like movie pieces. It's just if you're gonna go for realism, I actually prefer it to be more of a museum pose. And that's when I like the statues to be bigger, maybe like 1/3 around that scale, ideally. But it's not that I hate it, but for Spider-Man, I don't particularly love any of the movie portrayals more than the way he looks in the comics. I feel like I don't have my perfect Spider-Man yet, so I'd rather get a comic version of the character.
I also don't care for Spider-Man on the ground. Like to me, it's weird. It's weird to me to see him next to a trash can. I don't know.
Point.
And then there's like a rat next to him or something.
Like what you doing here?
I'm slumming it, man. Like damn, he down there with the rats and roaches.
He lost his webbing, man.
Nice
Can't call
sculpt
them
though.
balls.
I like the sculpt for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just conceptually, I don't like it.
So another white queen. It seems like there's a lot of these coming out too.
The
Yeah,
floating,
I like
floating breasts.
So I like this piece. Like I think this is like a really, really dope representation of Emma. But it's just a few things that are off. Like I don't like how the base look like that she's standing on looks like ice because
Yeah.
her powers have nothing to do with ice. So I hope that's not supposed to be ice. I'm not sure. And then her thighs look just slightly too muscular. Like it looks good, but just for Emma Frost, like her thighs were never that muscular.
That don't look good to me.
Well, I think that was the point. I think the point was to make her a thicker version.
I think, yeah. Well, if that's the point and that's the concept they were going for, they definitely did
This
it on
is
this.
some funny
But
anatomy
that's-
on this statue.
But Matt, that's not thick, man. That's muscular.
Hey, G, do
Compared
you
to
think
Emma-
the ice
compared to
is
Emma.
off the nameplate like Frost?
Look.
Emma Frost? Maybe that's why they have her on the ice, even though her powers have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean that's diamond that she got
Yeah.
coming out of. I don't know. I just don't understand that. I mean, it looks dope though, and I don't like
Look
her
how-
lips. It looks like she got duck lips. Like they look like Evan.
Again,
Evan actually pointed that out to me.
he said duck lips.
She has a really long neck.
I would have said something else, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
The,
man.
the proportions on this are just wonky.
Big old DSL.
Oh man.
Cup size too big, man.
So this is another custom
get up,
preview
you.
Wolverine. They're doing a museum line. D3's got this coming, right? D3.
Yeah, actually, this is actually with Matt right now.
what? Oh, never
He
mind.
actually.
Another Matt.
yeah. It took me a
Oh no,
second.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
It's Franco.
Yeah, Franco.
Yeah.
To me, this doesn't
He
look like
actually-
Franco's work though. It looks stylized.
It looks like he's trying to change it slightly because he's done so many, but you can see it the moment you see like the portrait, it's like a Franco Wolverine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I like
He
this,
actually
but
told me to start it this week.
I would have to
I'm not-
alter this. Like
My
the
bad,
paint
go
looks really, no, my bad. The paint looks really shiny for some reason.
Rubbery
It looks
too. It's
extra-
like it's like
I would
latex.
darken it. Yeah, that's what I was looking.
Make it-
Yep,
make it more
I'll
of a
have to
flat.
Darken it. Yeah,
Like the sheen on it is too much, and it's like skin tight because of how the musculature is coming through, or like on the costume, and then like it's so reflective. It looks very unsettling.
The,
That's
the
actually
skin
one
tone-
thing.
The skin.
That's
though,
one
is
thing I'm
really
gonna
good.
tell Matt. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's one thing I'm gonna tell Matt. I'm gonna tell him I definitely don't want that sheen to it. Definitely, I want a more matte finish. It's a lot of statues have that a little too much gloss on the uniform to my liking. But definitely this is definitely overdone.
Got a metallic look, sort of. You can look at the blue on it. Looks a little metallic.
Is this
I think
painted by
metallic looks
Campy?
good on like Sentinels.
Yeah, can't
Yeah.
be this.
Yeah, it looks
Like
like it's paint
Sentinels,
job.
Galactus, like
Yeah.
a high sheen looks great on. But,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
regular everyday characters, they need to have more of a flat base paint.
Yep.
Why you
This
so
looks more
low?
like armor. Like he has on, like you're saying, Apocalypse and them guys. Like this looks like armor
Yeah,
suit than it is an actual outfit. Clothing.
I
material.
would prefer my Wolverine like in this costume would have the X too. Like to me, this is a brown suit
Yeah.
thing.
of the belt.
That's the only flaw I had. The only problem I had with this statue is that it didn't have the X in the belt, and they had that.
Yeah, that's more of a brown suit thing.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking if it can be like resculpted to have the X there, instead,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's doing too much or not. So
Looks good though.
Hellboy.
Ooh.
So on this base, it's got like frogs, which I don't understand. Is there? I don't know if anybody knows anything about Hellboy or not, but
I've not read enough Hellboy
wow.
to like it.
So
Yeah.
in their lore, frogs represent unclean spirits. So that's probably why it's around.
mhm.
Looks dope though, the sculpt and everything on it.
Yeah, I like it. There was another Hellboy statue or sculpt that was going around last week. That was pretty good too. if you're a big Hellboy fan, like either one of these would be really dope to have.
I like this a lot, actually.
This is like the Hellboy himself. Like the physique is decent. It's the fabric sculpt is bad on the trench coat. It's like
Especially
baggy, is oddly baggy because you could tell he used like physics simulation to sculpt it, and it's like baggy in some parts where it doesn't make any sense. Like even the collar is like it's like each one is a different length on the lapels, and then the color around his neck because the way he sculpted it. It probably sculpted it in ZBrush. You should have used like a different software for it.
I
Well,
got
At least if you wanted to do.
the flame skull or the crown up top. That's pretty dope.
I actually like the disuniformity of the coat. I mean, I think, like you said, it's supposed to be kind of, or at least I think it would be a little bit raggedy or kind of
Disheveled a little bit.
disheveled a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's like not mimicking fabric in a real way. Like, why would you have like you see the lapel on that side? The shape doesn't make sense. Like mirroring
It's
the
not
other
supposed-
side. Like I get what you're saying. If it's like messed up or older, it's not going to change the proportions of the fabric. It's going to either get ripped up, but it's like it's different parts won't be different size. It's like if you have an old shirt,
It's
one
hell
arm-
proof. It's hell proof
it's-
fabric, Buck. It's hell proof.
Right. But it's also like you can say look at his hands. His hands, he's got one hand bigger than the other. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
It makes sense within the context of the universe that he's based in, but the fabric does not.
Exactly.
In that world, that world of Hellboy, fabric does not behave like this. This doesn't look like what is, because that would what we would expect that to look like the real world.
so here you want it to be realistic.
I don't want to go down like a whole rabbit hole of what like what kind of expectations you should have from fiction and how they should things should be represented.
I get it.
But like I'm just saying it doesn't make sense within the context of the story, at least from my perspective.
I guess some people are bothered by that kind of stuff, and like for me, it's not a big deal. Like it looks, the sculpt and everything still looks good, even though it's a little off, like you said. But I mean, I could see that being a thing. If you've got an old jacket or a jacket that's been worn, sometimes the creases aren't exact. So I mean, it's not really.
It's clearly done on purpose, though. You know what I mean? I think it was clearly done on purpose, not a miss. It's not a miss. It's an intentional thing.
That's the thing. It actually doesn't look like it was. It looks like he turned on simulation in the software and then turned on gravity, and everything started like acting funny. That's what it looks like to me. Like it.
But if that were the case, don't you think they would have stopped and corrected that as opposed to?
I mean, you can just look at the fold over the gun.
It's like-
I mean, the whole thing.
He's using a tool that he doesn't have that much control over, and so a lot of randomness is coming through that is out of his control, and then he tries to like fix it in certain parts, but it doesn't look right.
I totally disagree with that. I think it was done intentionally.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
All right, we got a Colossus from that same group, same line that Wolverine was from earlier.
Yeah, I got this one with TC on.
I have a question, and I really like the Colossus that I've seen, especially the one with the Juggernaut. But the only critique I have on it is his hairline, or his head, his
The
high fade. It looks a little too. I don't know. It looks a little too flat top, or a little too.
I don't know. This
unrealistic.
this line seems very, very over exaggerated. Like,
Yeah, that's part of his style on his portrait, Franco.
I think it's very stylized, this line that he's doing. Normally, like I said, to me, this doesn't look like Franco sculpts at all to me.
And you'll see the same thing in his the Cyclops. The Cyclops on this line has a really like his facial features really exaggerated and kind of stylized as well.
Normally, I can tell Franco's stuff right away, especially if it's a Wolverine. And that Wolverine to me did not look like a Franco sculpt at all. And I don't know. I don't know if he's trying something different or he's doing something different, but this is definitely to me not what his stuff normally looks like. So
I don't know. I don't think it's that too far off. I like this paint job though.
You said you had it coming. You have this piece coming.
I got it at the painter, so hopefully it'll be done soon.
and this is weird to me. Why does he have Ultron?
I never understood that. That's not coming out the box.
I was looking at that earlier. I was like, why does he have an Ultron head?
I mean, I'm sure the X-Men have come across everybody.
Oh yeah, but it just that's more of a certain Avengers.
They're branded for this, so it's like, like no other statue in the line has a reference to any enemy or any foe. I don't know why they decided to include that.
Does he have a swap out hand where you don't, if you don't want to display?
Yeah, there's one.
Oh, I see.
You got an X belt.
Got right on that base throwing me off. The color.
Yeah, a little too bright.
Oh, the
Looks
red.
good, though. Yeah.
I like that more and more companies are giving us stands to put the swap outs on. It's starting to become like a normal thing now.
Common thing.
I like that because I hate not being able to view my second
Option.
like head or top. Yeah, plus.
I don't think it's common enough now. Every once in a while you'll see it, but I've not every statue has it.
Is it
It's
me or
true.
do the portraits
I'm
look
starting to see it
different?
more and more.
Does it look like a different face? Does it look like a different person? Or do they look similar? I don't know.
I think it's because
different.
he's showing the teeth. It's probably because he's showing the teeth on that one. And he's
Yeah, but
kinda
it's just,
frowning.
I mean, the whole, I don't know. Looks like a different person to me.
I agree on that.
Right, Buck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Storm.
Ooh.
Megan Good.
This one was a little anime-ish to me. I don't know what y'all think, but I like the
I would
pose
say
and
Megan
everything.
Good.
I wouldn't say like not anime, but there's like a stylized 3D style that like is very common that like this is leaning towards.
I think her neck
Big
is
eye-
too
big
off.
eyes.
Like, I think her head is too shifted. It looks like it's not in the right position. Like I get the effect they were trying to go for. They did it a little too much.
She's sassy.
But she
Now
giving that
I'm seeing Megan Good, man.
I agree.
She looks like Megan Good,
Megan
bro.
Good.
I wasn't seeing it, and then you brought it up, and I'm like,
Megan
oh, she
Good.
does look like Megan
It's like
Good.
a TikTok.
Yep. As soon as he went to her, I was like, Megan Good cosplaying this thing.
Which is about to be banned. TikTok's gonna be banned.
Yeah.
But I like this more now because I like Megan Good.
Go and pick it up, FDJ.
What do you like better, the black or the white?
In
On
black.
On this render,
Yeah,
I like the black, but normally I like her better in the in a white uniform.
I feel like this is a I don't know. I feel like this is a statue like a female collector would get. Like, I don't know. It's just like it feels like she's
Barbie.
Beyonce. Like, you
Is
know,
this a 3D print
It's
or
the,
it's
it's
getting
the pose.
produced?
It's just
yeah,
a,
that's what I'm saying.
it's
Like,
just a
and then look at
3D
the
print.
head is too, I don't know. It's like, can you do that?
That she getting,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Like Jodie Watley.
The
It
earrings-
looks good. Though. It looks good.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, it's the earrings.
Is that what it was?
So this Batman piece right here, I really dig this concept. Like,
I actually like this a lot.
yeah,
Me too.
I dig the concept. It's like
That's
I don't
awesome.
know, it makes you think.
And the Vision's words, it tells a story.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tells the story.
Got to
Is
say
this-
it faster, D3.
It's gonna be up
tells
for your
a
home.
story.
Yeah. Cheer up, kid.
I actually like it. I like it without the kid.
Would this be considered Batman transformation?
That was
Oh wow.
Could be, could
Yeah.
be. It's cool. I like the concept. I wouldn't get something like this. But I like the concept.
Me too.
Is this being produced soon?
Looks like it. They've already done the sculpt and everything.
I was straight up.
I wonder if you can take the kid off.
What's wrong with the kid?
Take the little one.
I think if you do that, it takes away from the statue.
No, I don't. I like it without him. I used to have a T-shirt like that.
Oh, this thing. I think Keesis has been trying to ask around about this statue.
Is that a statue? It just looks like just a concept.
It's just a concept. Somebody made it. I haven't seen anything being made about it yet.
This isn't even complete yet.
Well,
it's cool. It's cool.
looks all right.
Looks too musky. Looks too. I don't know.
Big.
Cyclops. Yeah, it looks too big and too old.
He looks like he's just using like an old body sculpt, and then he made it look kind of like Cyclops, like maybe proof of concept kind of thing.
Right.
I do like the discharge on the energy though. That looks pretty cool. The way it's done.
Pause.
Yes, pause.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. Yeah, I saw Gucci Man. No Diddy. Oh man. That's crazy.
Little X23 going on.
Looks like a harlot.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, I don't like the portrait.
Quality seems to be a little off to me.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like a Barbie doll.
Yeah, a little action figure.
Plasticky.
Yeah, we just
No,
told us.
I was thinking dolls, but not Barbie.
Oh no.
What you find on Adam and Eve.
I thought this was cool. I like this background a lot. I like how this picture turned out.
Yeah.
Is this part of the line? I've seen similar.
Yeah, so it's actually part of the line. It's a whole bunch of that, and the Gwen was made. So
yeah, there's one with Gwen on the phone. I showed it like a couple shows ago.
They do a good job with their production. Like it's super high quality, and their stuff is super affordable.
Yeah, I mean it's not that huge and intricate.
Mm-hmm. It's well done though for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, when you're dealing with Spider-Man in general, like the statues aren't absurdly big or.
I like the paint. The paint job on it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really dope statue.
Yeah, I really like this line. I love like seeing the kid side of them, like with superheroes. Like I get that feeling. I ain't go front. Like it makes me. I have like 2 kids. It's just that youth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I remember.
Damn.
Like that little hit of youth.
I didn't know you were old, FPJ.
Nah, I'm old, man.
Now, if they can complete this line, it'll be amazing. It'll definitely be.
It looks good. I like the paint and everything on this. I think this is like a fun line, like a, they're just relaxing.
I have a random question. Just looking at this, how many of y'all walk and eat?
I used to.
Yeah, because I know for some it's just like I ain't doing that. I'm like,
when you're younger.
That was a thing when
Is
I was
that a New York thing.
When
I guess it's a New York thing.
It's a New York thing, but most people still don't like do that like that, right? They just like they'll sit like at like a fountain or something, or they'll get it and then they'll like sit outside and eat. But some like went and just like walk and eat.
I think it depends on the kind of thing, on the food too, right? If it's like a hot dog, you could like eat it on the go, like a burger.
Nah, I'm talking about eating plates, like a whole plate.
Bro,
why
you walking on the street?
No.
Like that's it. You see that regularly in New York. Like, I remember like you'll see somebody walking eating their Chinese food.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Like, what if someone bumps into them and the food falls on the ground?
Walking eat,
the
man.
only exception I'll make for eating outside like that, like just walking and eating, is if you're at like a theme park. You know what I mean? Like Six Flags or Disney World or something like that, and you walking from one side to the other. But just chilling, walking down the street, eating your dinner, you walking.
Bro, eating a whole takeout Chinese box like while you walk.
Yeah.
I remember after school, I would go get a slice of pizza and walk and eat the pizza while I'm walking to the bus stop. Like shit like that. But
FPJ, you're old. You don't do that now anymore. You sit down.
Nah, man, now it gets on my nerves. I don't really. I'm like, nah, I gotta sit, man. I ain't trying to
Yeah,
move.
yeah. I'm not walking and eating nothing. Like,
I feel like I'm gonna lose my balance. Something's gonna fall. I'm like, nah. Just,
I
$7. I ain't trying to drop it.
I
I
really
drive.
like this
Yeah.
Wonder Woman right here.
This is a dope Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
The last one was a little bit too much, though. It's a little bit too much for me, but
I don't. There's no way. I don't see how they're gonna make that if they do.
it's just unnecessary. Like, don't even put yourself through that strain. Just make it simpler and keep it a dope Wonder Woman.
Like, to me, this is like better than most, licensed stuff out there I've seen.
Yeah. At least the render.
yeah, I always prefer with like same thing with Superman, Wonder Woman. I prefer the stoic look, like for them, as opposed to like fighting per se. I like the fighting too, but I just love the stoic like looks.
I really
She got a lot of eyeshadow. I would prefer if that was toned down, but not
like
that though.
She's got attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. D3. She got a little blush, too much blush on her cheeks.
Yeah, a little too much of that too.
Well, I like this piece. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it minus the portrait.
Yeah, the portrait's just something about it. Maybe it's a little gothic, maybe a little goth looking. I don't know.
Yeah, if they tone down on the eyes, that would
Yeah.
help with that.
Yeah, I like it. Lobo.
Ooh, I like this Lobo. It's a lot going on with that base though. Well, with the motorcycle, but
Yeah,
It's kind of similar to the XM one that got made not too long ago.
Yeah. Oh, the back looks dope.
yeah.
I like it in the back.
Pause.
Pause.
Yeah,
No
and the
wood.
light stuff.
No diddy.
I would love to get my hands on a Lobo piece one day, man.
Got Prime One.
Prime One's got
Logo.
coming,
Dome. If you like dome pieces.
Yeah.
Titinan's working on this Silver Surfer. Seems like she's been working on this for a while now.
I think she finished this.
Yeah, I've
There's
seen
two versions.
this one.
That's the black and then the regular Silver Surfer.
Yeah, this is a 1/3 scale Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that Silver Surfer? Like,
It's all right. That's
Yeah. It's another Silver Surfer. It's good though. But,
I like the effect that she painted on it, but
yeah. So
another storm.
Wow. Like, why are we getting so many storms? Like, recently.
That's what I said earlier. It's like
Climate change.
storms.
you said climate change.
Yeah,
But,
I don't like the
big
pose on her.
this is cool. I don't like her lower body though. I think it's a little too thick for Storm.
Yeah.
And then the proportions with the waist.
She looked like she's about to try to get in a fist fight. I'm like, wow, you got powers.
It's just like something somebody like printed themselves,
yeah.
or like because this was pretty quick. It was just like a month or two. It was just renders for this, right? Or not even.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably just the STL and they bought it and had it printed. It's cool. It looks like an STL.
She looks like a singer. I forget the singer's name.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. There you go. That hair.
Yeah. Automatically.
Spider-Man.
All right, Buck. What about this one?
Dud.
He's not on the ground.
I like the pose.
It's cool.
Why did the eyes look like that? No, it's a bad film.
Peel off.
I knew it was coming.
Oh no, I'll pass on this one.
I expected no less.
Where's that eagle from? The Chrysler Building, right?
Yeah. I like this a lot,
I like
actually.
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
This looks good
This is
unpainted.
dope.
Once the cloud behind him is painted and all that color is in there, it just I don't know.
Adding
I like
color is
it.
very difficult. Just because he did a simple pass.
Like it doesn't look like that.
Oh, here it looks good.
Yeah, it does look better like this.
Even the likeness looks worse now with the color versus when it was just grayscale. It's so hard to add like color and keep things looking realistic because there's so much variation in a human being's complexion. And then even making skin look real, you need to have subsurface scattering in the render.
Yes, subsurface scattering.
Scattering.
Yes.
As opposed to surface scattering.
Note to self. Subsurface.
Oh my goodness.
But the sculpt is good though.
Yeah, I like the power. I like the power effect on
The
it.
sculpt is good.
Yeah.
If you look at the you see how like his skin just looks plasticky the moment like he adds color.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really have that issue when it's grayscale.
So this looks like a woman trying to be a dude, like a transvestite.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Oh man,
like that's what it looks like to me.
They should do away with those clouds in the back. I mean, I know it's in the art, but it's not done well enough.
The art's dope though.
Yeah, the art is amazing.
I like the detail.
Yeah, it's a pretty good job at trying to hit it. It's a pretty decent job. It's just
Pause.
What are you trying to hit?
D3? It's going to show you how important paint is, man.
Yeah,
paint is super important, man. It's just...
And this is still in the render. So when this is printed, like you need to get a really good painter, or else.
Yep.
Or else.
Yeah.
Well, I think what Buck said was true though. I mean, when you look at the grayscale, it looks like what's his name, Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever his name was. It looks like him. It looks like the actor, but when you paint it, it kind of it doesn't. You know what I mean? See, that looks like him, right? The actor.
Yeah, more so than
Cumberbatch. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I show a picture of the painted one, it doesn't. He looks different.
Sure, this looks. I wouldn't paint it. Maybe I would just keep it like this.
There you go.
Looks good like that.
I mean,
a lot of statues just like that.
It was a whole line, smaller scale of like Batman characters where none of them were painted. They were all like, I guess you would say,
black and white.
Yeah, black and white, whole line, and they sold like crazy.
Except for
I know what line you're talking about.
Japanese variant. No, that's you talking about the smaller ones. Yeah, the smaller ones.
Yeah.
So this statue right here is not custom, obviously, but I really wanted to talk about it. So, oh well. What do you think? How this turned out? I know it's people were hoping it was going to be quarter scale, but it's 1/5 officially right now. So, and they're not doing the quarter scale version. So,
haven't all of their maquettes always been
1/5?
Scale?
Yeah. Well, except for that fastball special now.
Oh, so that's why people.
I like this statue a lot, especially when I saw the base. The only thing I don't like is Gambit's mouth. I think they're just off of his mouth. But other than that, I think it's really dope. I wouldn't get it because it wouldn't fit my collection, but it's a really dope piece.
I like it a lot.
If I had a spot for it, I would get it. Like I would have ordered it. I really like this statue.
Did anybody see how much the price was? It was like 7 something, right?
Really?
Yeah.
So you're talking about how you don't like Gambit's mouth? I don't like Rogue's mouth. Like the way it's like kind of
crooked.
Like crooked.
Yeah, something about like her
bottom off.
Yeah.
The shape of her head is weird. Like, see her forehead? See how it terminates there? It's like
she got Bell's palsy or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is she biting her lip? Like that's what it kind of.
Yes, I think she's trying to bite her lip.
If she's biting her lip, it's fine. But...
She's about to say sugar.
I think it looks good though. I like the way her push look, but yeah, you just kind of highlighted me to that thing with the mouth, and it kind of changed a little bit. But
I think
it looks better from afar.
Gambit looks good, but Rogue's portrait, her head looks weird to me.
So both of their portraits is off, pretty much.
Is it possible to get a close up on Gambit? Like, he looks funky from this angle too.
He looks like he got an overbite.
The eye. It looks like you want to touch irises. It looks like eyeball.
Overall, I love the statue. It's a
Yeah.
fun
I,
piece.
I like
overall,
I like the power effect that he's doing.
Yeah.
For Rogue, like I love like when she's flying, like in any statue. Like for me, I like she has to be flying for me.
Yeah, she's biting her lip.
Okay.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right,
That makes sense. Okay.
I couldn't
now,
see.
like,
Okay, yeah, now it's fine.
All about perspective, right?
Yep.
yeah, I like this.
Some
I
camera.
really like the base and how it's like twirled into it. I like that color on his armor, his eyes. Like, yeah, this is painted. Well, the color is colored really well.
Yeah, I get the same kind of vibe with
Yeah, the eyes.
this.
That's it.
Yeah, the what's it that the Superman and Lois? I get that same vibe. Like it pair well with it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, oh man, I don't know. Superman and Lois is way more iconic than them.
His belt looks long.
Hey, I think I might have to go on a statue break because I was just saying I don't have a spot for this, and I was sitting here like, man, where could I put this? I really want this. And I was like, oh, I got the balcony upstairs. I can put it on it. That's so ignorant, man. Like,
Balcony?
you want to put it so bad.
It's always
It's
fake.
screened in.
So I thought this was kind of interesting. This Batman bust. Like he just got beat up. He's like smoking a cigar.
What the hell?
To me, from the side, it looks like the Val Kilmer version of Batman in the face. Like if you look at it from the side, it has a little bit of Val Kilmer.
It's interesting. It looks like, he definitely looks older. Like he's just worn out. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna smoke a stogie.
Like I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
It looks like he's past his prime and needs to hang it up. This looks
It's the night he
feel
made
bad.
Terry.
Yo, I was just thinking that, Piggy. Like I was just like,
He made Terry
Like,
this night. He was like, I don't have the time for this.
Yeah.
I literally thought about Terry in my mind.
I wouldn't want to buy a statue looking like this. It looks good for what it is, but I wouldn't want to look at that.
This seems like hand sculpted.
Yeah, it might be. Looks good. Looks good though for what it is. You
Looks
know?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
like
just stylized.
I like old Batman.
He's like, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Do you like Thomas Wayne version of Batman?
I do.
It's my favorite Batman.
Yep.
Oh, was it
Sandman.
Sleep from Sandman?
Morpheus. Oh no, this is Sleep. What was this? What is Morpheus? Yeah, this is
It looks really good.
Yeah, I like this.
Sandman.
I like how I did the
Really
skin
dope.
on the stomach. Yeah, this is really dope. I don't know the character, but I think this looks really good.
That was really, really good.
It's Dream.
I like the glow from the pendant on his chest.
Yeah.
The cloth, the fabric dripping over his hand, over his arm looks good.
The portrait, the hair. It's all pretty good.
Yeah.
The sand, that effect of the sand sifting through his palm, that looks really
Yeah.
good.
The paint's really good on his.
I even like the base.
Is this a
Like
STL? It seems like an STL print, right? Because
I think so.
everything seems like it came out in one piece. The pendant stuck to his chest with the necklace. Yeah. These parts of it that seems like should be separate.
When I see random good statues like this, I just think about like the few people who are like super fans of this character or this IP, and they automatically just have like a great statue to represent it, just like that. While we're stuck waiting for like the perfect Wolverine or the perfect Venom or the perfect Spider-Man.
His ankles look funny though.
Damn, you had to find something, man.
A little weird to me.
Do you
Nah,
think?
but it looked like he got it like on the inside one too.
And what are these bubbles on the skin?
It's probably like casting defects. Sorry, like printing defects, or like
Maybe
from the paint.
He needs
I don't
treatment.
know.
He needs treatment. Now I'm looking at the ankle. Like, man, I thought it was a perfect statue and didn't even pay attention to the ankle. And now they do look a little weird.
It looks good overall though. It's just those couple of it's like a little nitpick, you know. All right, now we're at the Dragon Ball Z section.
Throw it in the trash.
You don't like it?
Nope.
Really?
I know some
Yeah, I
people.
don't like-
There
I
was
don't like
a-
any.
Go ahead, sorry, D3.
No, I was just saying I don't like any of these.
This is a
like the
licensed
Frieza?
product. I don't like either, but the Frieza's already shipping though. Like it's a licensed product. There's an unlicensed one that came out that looks so much better, in my opinion. There might be some people that disagree. I'm not like the god of DBZ or anything, but I don't like this. I don't like the portrait and the base. The sub base, the orange part, I think they're gonna change it to match the Frieza. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this statue.
I think
Mostly
the Frieza
because
was
I've
good,
seen
though.
better. I don't like his portrait. A lot of people didn't like that Frieza's portrait either. Like people were complaining, begging them to change it on Facebook, and they didn't listen. They said the licensor likes it, so that's what they're going with.
I don't know. I like this.
You don't like the
Good.
Frieza either?
Nah, I don't like my main issues with both are the faces. I don't like the portraits. The fact that they give you like the extra body, like a side to display the other like torso is nice, but I don't think you needed all of that because it's the same pose, just a different portrait. So they should have just like made a headstand and be done with it.
Looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
I like this Frieza, man.
Frieza too. I like both of
Like-
them. I like that base, man. That
So
base.
the
is nice.
Frieza base
clean.
and the like Death Ball, they're awesome, but I don't like his face. Like a lot, like, and that's the thing. Like, it might sound like I'm just hating as usual, but a lot of people don't like that portrait on that Frieza, right?
Yeah, I'm not too fond of it.
But hasn't he made this expression? You know what I mean?
It's not about the expression. It's like off model. Like it doesn't quite look right. There's some people that made the irises bigger and then they brought the eyes closer together, changed the shape slightly in Photoshop, and that looked right. But this it doesn't feel right. I don't know. I don't like it.
You know what's funny? Like, cause it's rare that I'm on this side, but like when you have like no tie to a piece or like a character or IP, like I'm sitting on this and like I see zero wrong with this. But
yeah,
I know something
it looks
like
great.
you, somebody like you, Buck, right? Like you're
Mhm.
into this stuff, right? You watched
Yeah.
it, like it's soaked into you. So it's like you could look at it and be like, this is off, this is off, this is off, this is off. And I'm like, I can't hate on you because I'm like, I don't really watch it like that. So I'm like on the outside, like, man, this looks perfect.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
and
earlier,
let me
just like
clarify
earlier
something.
when that Wolverine came up, how many people know that yellow and blue suit Wolverine had an X instead of that brown belt?
That's true. That's true.
I give you even an example. The Vegeta behind me, when they first announced that, people were like, no, it doesn't make sense. That's a different transformation. He's too muscular. He shouldn't be doing that attack in that form. And like some other people was like, just it looks right,
Yeah.
But with this one, it's like, oh man, it could be so much better. And the thing is, a custom group did the exact same statue, same
And speaking
scene.
of,
Yeah, that's it. And the one on the left, I prefer. I would buy the one
Yeah,
on
the
the
one on the
left.
left is way better.
Yeah,
The
so
pose is way better. So
and it's hundreds of dollars cheaper. And
I've always liked
Really?
this custom group.
The one on the left is the better one.
Yeah.
to me at least, because I
Yeah,
think some
me too.
people. I don't know if people prefer the one on the right. I haven't been on Facebook too much today because that one on the right just got revealed. But from what I've been seeing, the little sentiments, people like it, but some people are already saying that the licensed one copied the unlicensed, right? And I mean, X the doubt because the one on the left only just got revealed a couple months ago this month, and there's no way you can make a statue this complicated and approved in that short of a time on the right. If you're a licensed company. So I say, nice guy said the Sume Goku is 1,800 all in, and $1,300, and then $500 shipping. I think the one on the left would be like 1,000 shipped, or maybe a little over that,
Hmm.
maybe even less.
Wow.
And they're the same scale, so it's an easy choice for me. And just forgetting about the price, it just looks better to me.
So the
Is it
one
the color?
the custom one just came out too, right? You said.
It's in terms of pre-order, it's not in hand. But those guys, let me say, I have some of their statues. Some are actually displayed behind me, and I say like they're making stuff that's better than a lot of licensed companies in terms of just quality. You can see I have the Prime One Goku behind me. Then I have their product on that over there. I think the quality of what they have is better than the Prime One quality. But the Prime One statue is my favorite statue in my collection. So I believe they're gonna deliver on quality.
And then some Sephiroth.
Nice.
I always like statues of him.
They always turn out pretty dope.
They make
Yeah.
way too many statues of this dude, man.
Yeah, I mean he's a cool character. He's a cool looking character, to their credit. So.
It looks good.
Are there any other angles of? Okay.
The different sizes.
Yeah, I like this.
Looks good.
Nice guy. Are you gonna get the Sume Goku?
Which is nice.
What do you think about this?
See, again, I want to say awful things about it because it's off model. It doesn't look like the thing it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Now, if you still like it because it's like has light ups that are cool to you, or like
it is cool.
or the execution, like yeah, that makes sense. But it's not the character it's supposed to be for me. All right, it's not. It's taking an approach that doesn't match.
You know what's good about like the custom market, like with the anime statues?
Yeah.
There's so many of them that you can find the right one that you want.
Hell
Of
yeah.
the character.
If you
So true.
want accuracy, you can definitely get that. And if you want something that's slightly different, you could get that as well.
Yeah.
This company doesn't do like accurate portraits. I think that's their weakness.
But
I
it's
feel the
cool
only
as hell.
time I like their stuff is with Broly. That's the only time I like when they make statues with Broly.
Yeah. And Dragon Ball's best character.
Oh, man. His face is off too. Like, but I guess this is from Temple Studio, I think,
Dude, I love this right here.
That's nice.
or LX Studio. But there's so much Dragon Ball Z stuff coming out constantly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's the most stuff I've ever seen of any.
There's
custom
like 10
IP.
statues for every scene of Dragon Ball Z.
And
Yeah.
10? That's an understatement, Jar.
That's crazy.
There's I
It
mean,
has
so
specific
much.
battle scenes and like it's crazy. Like I can't. I don't know how they do that.
I thought this was dope.
This is dope, but the portrait's off. They
I love
do
this.
there are other busts of other characters, specifically Gohan, Vegeta, the Gogeta and Vegito. The Gogeta and the Vegito, those are the best like busts for those characters.
Was
But,
it
like,
Super Saiyan 5?
Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and it just faces off. There's another company that did a bust, and theirs is much better in my opinion.
Yeah, and they did a Vegeta one too.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like the light up.
The
I
light
will
up
say
is
I will say
nice.
one thing about the anime statues, man. Their light ups are immaculate.
Yes.
Man,
I mean,
Next
look at this. That's crazy.
and they give you so much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
as far as extras and swap.
Well, and for the
outs.
price too, they're cheaper.
Mhm.
They're cheaper
Yeah.
than
The only reason
Prices
I
go
don't,
up there. Right now, you're showing the most expensive studios to buy from.
yeah. I know I am.
the only thing I don't like about a lot of anime statues is the overuse of all the clear resin for the power effects and everything. Like I'm just not a big fan of clear resin effects. It's just I don't know, just not appealing to my eye. So a lot of the statues, just even if they look dope to me, I just would never ever, get into it.
Sometimes you might have the option to take it off,
Or
or like they'll even do a different version where it's a different paint scheme. It's not clear resin.
Yeah, I've
It'll
seen that.
be but it's usually for stuff that they can do that for. When it's like the energy, the aura, it's always clear resin. But like
yeah.
some characters, if they use fire, then you might get two options where it's like painted fire or clear resin fire.
I do like
How much do these-
whatever. Like
How much do
Pickstar
these
was
normally run?
stuff. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask, how much do these normally run?
This bus is probably like a little over 1,000.
For a full size bust. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
really good.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this like in terms of like bang for your buck, this is crazy. And it's just insane like value for your money. It's not even. And then a lot of the places selling, they'll do like bundled shipping, and it'll be very affordable. I imagine this with shipping and added, it's probably gonna be like $1,500, like shipped to the US.
Yeah, anime is very affordable.
Yeah.
I like Pickstar's Naruto stuff.
Yeah,
That's
okay, their stuff is pretty good.
Look
Yeah,
at this.
they
thing.
did a Susanoo for Sasuke's statue, and the clear resin looked amazing. Like I would definitely get that one. It's a whole clear resin Susanoo.
This is crazy.
It's like a
Oh, this is
lamp.
dope.
Yeah.
Right?
And the sculpt on this is pretty sick.
Figured out
This
you
is probably the first Jiren versus Goku statue I liked. I would also like, in terms of what like D3 was saying, I would actually want to take off the clear resin, the auras behind them. It looks a bit much for me, but like the sculpt of the characters is pretty clean. They offered a version without the yellow energy.
Is this still available? You know?
Probably you could find this. I
This-
don't know how
this-
well this is. And this
this-
one
this
was like
budget-
$500.
This pick right here.
And for real?
This guy,
Like around there. 1 second.
this guy whose pick this is Isaac Perez, and he runs the Facebook anime group. That's who I was trying to get on the show. But he's actually selling that one. That very one you see right there in the picture, he's selling this. He has it up for sale.
Wow.
So you can contact him if you're interested in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get his stuff up for
I
you.
dug this fight a lot too. This is a good fight.
Oh,
My
Yeah,
stepson,
sorry, I was
uh,
wrong. It was around like $700.
I think he's selling it for like
So-
$500 or $400.
This is quarter
I want to
scale
get. I want to
dia.
get it.
Yeah, he's selling it really
My
cheap.
stepson's a. My bad. Go ahead, D.
No, you're good. You're good. Just-
I was
It's a
gonna say,
great
so
piece.
he's a Dragon Ball Z maniac, and he saw that I had posted that I got my first DBZ piece, and he's graduating 8th grade. So maybe I can pick that up for him if I can get my hands on it. This with
Yeah.
that's when-
That'll be a hell
He
of a
ain't getting
gift.
mine, man. Yeah.
Is
Yeah, hit him up. It's probably gonna go fast. So hit him
is
up.
this face sculpt meet the expectations?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
that's
I think this is
cool.
really
Yeah, that
good.
looks-
That's a sticker, ain't
You
it? though?
know it's dope. If
Yeah,
Buck
they
said
use a
the
decal for it.
portrait is good. Yeah.
I think that's the best way to get it accurate. If they use the decals instead of trying to do like hand painted. When they do hand painted, it looks wonky.
It's the one Piggy got.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's a different scale. Is this big? Is this bigger or smaller than yours?
This one is dope. I like the clear resin on this.
Oh, you got
Mine's
this?
is yes, 7th scale,
Okay.
Wow.
which I guess is something only anime does.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great.
7 scale, 6 scale, 8 scale. I've never seen a 9 scale.
Can you see it?
This is a scene where Piccolo absorbs Kami
That's cool.
before he goes to fight Android 17.
I always like Piccolo too.
I feel like Piccolo's skin could be a little bit darker green, but it's not a big deal.
It also depends too on like what the source material they're looking at is. If they're looking at the anime, there's so many different like versions in terms of what the colors could be. But there's like a main version, and then the manga color is also different from that.
hmm
Yeah, because remember they had the version with the blue sash. When I was
Yeah.
buying this one, I was talking to Buck while I was kind of shopping for it, and the one with the blue sash I actually liked better, but it was like maybe $150 more expensive. And I was
Yeah.
like, if it's that important, I'll just paint the, you know what I mean? I'll paint the belt
Mhm.
down the line as opposed to paying the extra $200 just to get it in blue instead of red. And the other difference is like on here on Cammy's on his
Cowl.
headdress, like, yeah, on his cowl, like you can see his what his, I don't want to say receptors or antennas or whatever is coming out. It's clear and matches the rest of his body. Yeah. And the one that I got, they're actually green. Even though his you know, he's clear, the tentacles or whatever. I'm gonna turn to it one more time. If you can see it, they're
Yeah.
actually green.
Mhm.
And it looks like the color on yours is maybe it's just the camera, but it looks like yours is, instead of blue, he looks like
Green.
seafoam green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a almost like a turquoise.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But you see that in the one on the screen too. Like you can see some hints of turquoise in there on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah, here, but here is like a shading as opposed to this guy is like his whole
Yeah,
his whole
you're right.
makeup is that color.
This in the back of this guy's collection, you just got all the stuff that Jarhead likes, all the
Yeah.
ones I hate.
All the ones I love.
Actually, I like two of the pieces there.
Hey, so with Dragon Ball Z, there was one character that always bothered me.
Vegeta?
No, Popo. But it's not what you're thinking, Jarhead. He's actually he's modeled after like this like, was it Hindi?
Like a Hindu god of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks funny to me. That's all.
But when I first saw it, I was like, man, like I kind
I
of
thought
went
the
off
same thing.
until I
Yeah.
researched it, and I was like, all right.
Like, what are they doing?
But one character I can't stand in the world of anime. I don't know if you guys know who Jinx is on Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
I don't even.
man, Jinx
Yeah,
is
that-
the
you know,
most ignorant, just
Yeah.
ignorant, blatantly obvious.
I wouldn't even consider Pokemon anime. Well, I guess because it is originally a Japanese IP, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this next piece right here. So this is like a sideshow OG piece, right? Well, somebody customized it.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
They turned it into Phoenix Force?
Yeah.
Damn.
Those head sculpts on this are,
I like.
I love them. That was bald one. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely for like somebody doing this themselves, like it's definitely great work.
I think it turned out really good.
Yeah,
I actually like this one. I think I might like this one a little better than the other one. Or maybe.
Wow, this person went all the way. They even did the base.
Mhm.
Base.
I'm very curious as to what the process was like.
I mean, that's a lot of. They would
It's
have
a
take
long-
that. Yeah.
Mhm. It's like the head must have like recasted it, like, and then I don't know, maybe they recasted it in like wax or like clay, and then they sculpted into new details.
Because it's pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, but you can see it's based on the same, like, base.
What was there already, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks good.
Ooh, stop Pokemon!
So that was all the pictures. That was 100. That was 150 pictures.
Wow.
You could tell Matt really started enjoying himself when the anime stuff came on screen.
Perked up.
He became so invested that he just like it was silent the whole way.
Hey,
Your world, baby, your world.
That's what you kids are watching these days.
Well, like I said, that was 150 pictures of statues. Probably should look at getting out of here for the night, I guess, guys.
I do have
Go ahead.
yeah. So being with you guys, you've opened up my world too.
It's a whole
Customs.
new world.
It's annoying, man, because I realize a lot of the customs are pretty good, and it's sometimes to me even better than a license.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
A lot.
that stuff I never used to think about at all, right? And when they did the Prime One showcase, right, they showed a lot of pieces, and in particular anime, right? I'm looking at it, and now what I've been doing when I see pieces come out with like companies just using Prime One because they just did their showcase, I now I see something and I'm like, let me search and see if
custom.
yes. So I've done that, and so the piece that I did that with, the first thing when I seen it was the Beast Titan versus Levi.
Oh yeah, the custom one is crazy.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. So first of all, I love Attack on Titan. I love that scene, right? I watched it 100 times, and I'm picking apart the statue. I was like, man, this Prime One looks great, but I was like, and then when I saw the custom,
I like the custom one.
I was like, this literally looks like I'm watching the scene from the actual fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I was like, and I added it to my list. I was like, I need this. Then somebody asked me, because I had pulled it up to one of my boys, and then it was like, so Freddie, it's like, so would you rather the custom than the Prime One? I was like, yeah, I think so. I was like, this is more accurate to me.
So
and a lot better. Huh?
You gonna be getting your first custom sometime?
Yeah, I think so. I think this year I see like 2 or 3 that I'm gonna hit. That's one of them, and I was like,
the thing about customs though, it's hard to wait on it because sometimes they sell out, or you don't necessarily want to wait till the last minute with a custom. So that's
I don't think anime statues have that same issue to the extent that
they tend to come out faster in general.
Yeah, and they're more readily available even on the aftermarket, and they're cheap on for the most part.
It depends on the group. It's like if you miss the chance to buy it, trying to find someone to sell it to you is very difficult because we don't have the same network of BSTs that the Marvel and DC groups have. So it's hard to, sometimes it can be hard to find. Unless like a really popular company that made the one you have, and they made a lot. But sometimes with the anime pieces, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's just so many to choose from. Especially Dragon Balls. Oh my gosh, Dragon Ball is crazy.
Rose, I like customs. I like customs. Just getting into the groups has been a challenge for me. What do you mean by getting into them? Like trying to look for them, or what? If anybody has any questions about any of the groups, I mean, I'm sure one of us would be able to direct you, or if you were looking for a specific statue. So
just in general with the comic custom groups, a lot of the higher tier ones, the more reputable ones, the ones that release the best pieces, they're not requiring you buy into the group by POing the piece that they have. So that's a major obstacle that I know a lot of people are facing right now. So you gotta really be ready to kind of
buy now.
So
what's crazy is that it's because when I was digging it up, and I was like, man, this is even cheaper than the actual licensed piece, and I was just like, this is better. I was like, man, and I'm not one of those. I know a lot of people in the community are like that. Even with 1/6, right? They're like, oh man, it's Hot Toys or whatever. I'm gonna get Hot Toys, and I'm like, but this custom is a lot better. But there are people who just love name brand. I'm not one of those. I'm like, I don't care if it's Prime One. I'm just like,
if it's better, if it's better.
If it's better and it looks better on my shelf, I'm getting it.
Do be careful with the anime ones though. Look at what they've produced before, just to cover your bases. And the thing is, you got to be, when it comes to anime pieces, the more intricate it is, just assume you're gonna have breaks, and you're gonna have to deal with it. It's not. you're probably not gonna get replacements or anything like that. And if you tell like the person that sells it to you, maybe they'll give you some kind of like a little bit of cash so you could buy glue. It sounds funny, but that's what's gonna happen. so like, just note that with certain pieces, depending on the studio, unless it comes completely shattered, like you're shit out of luck. Like
Here's
you're gonna have to-
$2.99, so you can buy some glue.
Right.
honestly, you might get like maybe $20 or 25, and like and like good luck, man.
You on your
So
way, man.
just have that kind of expectation too. I don't know which Beast Titan versus Levi you got, but I don't know if the studio has a good history because the packaging makes a huge difference on whether it gets to you in one piece or not.
Yeah.
Before you get that, I was
like
gonna
it,
tell
though.
you to talk to Buck about that because he'd probably know whatever anime custom group you're looking at getting. So, but that's the thing that you hear that customs are so expensive all the time, and then come to find out, guess what? They look better and they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is that Levi versus Beast you were talking about, right?
No, it wasn't this one.
Oh,
It's not this.
That's the thing. There's
No.
a bunch of them.
No, there's one. There's one where he has it shows like his arm is like literally slicing off.
Mhm.
I seen this one though.
It's spinning around the arm and the one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's been around, and you actually see the full Beast, a Titan. Yeah, I was like, that's wait. Let me put it in the chat. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, man.
Hey, sometimes
Okay.
I like to pair up the same character license versus custom. Like, I have that XM Archangel, and then there's a custom one that I'm on the hunt for. One of the two that are kind of out there right now to pair up with the XM one.
Is that the one with the X base?
The WP one.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say that.
it's got it's got an X base on it.
Yeah, I think that's a dope rendition. I want to pair it up with the XM one.
I'll tell you this, FBJ, in a general sense, like
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this is sick.
Oh,
That
yeah,
literally, like if you seen the fight, I'm like, this literally is like it played in my mind, and I was right there. The same scars and everything. I was like, dude, that's the fight. I was like,
man,
I need
it
that.
makes you want to watch. Makes you want to watch Attack on Titan, man.
Yes, I thought the same
Well,
thing when I seen it.
only for the Levi scenes.
Yeah,
Nah, Levi's badass. He's worth it, man. He's worth
He's a
watching the whole
savage.
thing, man. He's
And check out the base. The base even tells a story. Like if you look at the base, if you go on the base, it like literally has that whole fight battle scene that led up to that moment. And I was like, that is incredible.
Yeah, I would say this is better than the Prime one.
That's
No,
what I'm
hell yeah.
saying.
The thing is, it looks like it not right now, maybe, but when it actually comes to production, you just never know. With
That is crazy.
because I haven't seen this group before. It seems new. I haven't seen anything from them before.
Yeah, I never heard it before neither. Hurt Studio.
That looks
So-
great, man.
You gotta take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, do some research on this group before you get it.
But if they can produce this like anywhere close to these renders,
Because
this is-
I did like that Prime one though. Like the Prime
Oh,
one did
the Prime one. Yeah.
huge, but this one,
Yeah, I seen this.
This doesn't even seem like a render. This is like just the actual prototype. They took pictures of
think
these.
so?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, it is. There's an actual video of it on
Yeah.
a table, and they're actually like recording it, like they did with the
well,
Prime
yeah,
one pieces.
that's
Yeah.
a
I
good
was like-
sign.
My only qualm with this is that the portrait isn't quite on model for the anime.
I agree. That I agree with. Yeah. that I
does he
agree with.
normally look that sleepy?
Yes, but like not.
He has that
like-
personality. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
cool character.
I'm
Okay,
sure this,
just making sure.
Yeah.
effort is tiring.
yeah.
He's like one of the
That's
most
crazy.
badass like characters. Actually
Yeah, he-
scares this beast type. This beast type is
Yeah.
a mofo, but
Because they even before he fought Levi, him and his compadres told a story of like, you got to be careful of this dude if you ever match up with him. And he's like, come on, man. It's like, nah, no way. And then he went up against him, and he had
Yo.
flashbacks as he was getting whipped. He had flashbacks of that talk. He's like, oh crap.
shit, yeah. Yo, Levi's, you made me want to watch it right now. Like, it's,
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking. Like, man, I might look at it tonight.
shoot, man. But yeah, so this is what you guys have done to me, man. Now every piece that comes out, let me
I-
see if there's a custom piece.
I would say I'm sorry, but
Welcome.
I'm not.
yeah, exactly. I'm not neither, man. You're welcome.
100%.
gotta-
Another
though,
one.
it's
gotta
gonna be
think.
cheaper than the Prime One.
Yep.
I don't, but the Prime One might be bigger though, because this doesn't seem like it'll be quarter scale. The Prime One's quarter scale.
It doesn't look as big.
But the scene, the
Did
the depiction looked way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because with this they did like the full like torso of the Beast Titan, all right. But Prime One only did his
Head,
arm
arm.
and his head, because like that Prime One's in quarter. This is probably not in quarter.
I think it's like 6 scale or that weird
It looks
one
like
with
it.
7 scale.
Because when I showed pictures of the Prime One next to a human being, like that
I think it's
arm,
humongous.
it was
Yeah.
huge. It's like there's no way they could do his whole torso with the Prime One. And they
both
even,
look- they both look good,
even
but-
shrunk him down. He was like underscaled in the Prime One already. Because like if you could see how it's like that creature is massive.
Mhm.
Well, guys, you guys have anything cool going on? Anything coming in?
I'm framing some art prints. Right now I'm flattening the art. I'm waiting for I ordered some mats online.
Oh,
Yeah. So not you, Matt. I like so I'm gonna like put that in the frame when it comes in and put all my stuff up. Yeah, so it's been fun. I installed like a shelf above my computer so I could put all my figures on there. So I only have like 3 small things like Warhammer, an anime, Shin Getter, and I have Bowen Ultron above my desk. So.
nice. Anybody else? Anything going on? Anything?
I'm still waiting on my blob to get here.
Oh, you haven't got the blob yet? Oh, that's right, because it had that thing that was going on.
FedEx is killing me, man. I can't stand FedEx, man.
Tell me about it.
I got a Black Panther that's on the way. A Ken, a Street Fighter Ken from the Prototype Z line is on the way.
I've got a Black Panther 2 coming. We should do a double unboxing. Because yours is different from what I got.
good.
So
And just a bunch of kits all over the place. That's it.
So I don't know if we're just speaking customs that are coming in or
anything, just anything, whatever.
So my Prime One Black Adam finally shipped. Finally.
Damn,
Supposed to be
congratulations.
here on Monday.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, man, forever. So that's finally coming, and then hopefully this weekend I get to get back to some of my art projects, because that's actually that's more of a peaceful part of the collection for me, just kind of working on that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, just getting back to the art, man. But yeah, I'm waiting on that Black Adam to come in, and then in the way of customs, I think I have one more payment on my She-Hulk that they were doing.
Mhm.
Hopefully I'll have some news on my Usagi Yojimbo. And hopefully that'll be shipping soon. And then hopefully the Lando Calrissian will be shipping. They said, the group said, hopefully they won't have to push it back to May, and it may still ship late April, but if not, definitely May for the Lando.
Gotcha.
Oh, you got a Lando? That's cool.
Yeah.
What scale?
The Cloud City base. They're quarter scale.
Okay.
And it's they had the regular base and then like the Cloud City base, and I got the Cloud City one.
Oh yeah, I think you spoke about it on one of these shows. I saw it. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yep.
You got anything coming up, Matt, or anything?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm in pause mode.
Got you. Well, tomorrow I've got a live unboxing. I already kind of did a little bit my XM Sentinel piece. I'm doing a live unboxing like around 3:30 tomorrow. I had to put a part of it up because my wife's gonna be gone, so I needed help to put it up. So pause.
Look,
Oh,
that's your
man.
wife for that.
Yeah.
She helps you get it up.
Well, thank you for everybody showing up today. Always.
FPJ, you ain't go. I don't think FPJ went. Visual, I don't know.
Oh yeah. So, well, I'm trying to behave, right? Trying my best. Like I'm on pause mode, because I have things I'm trying to pay off now. So, but the stuff I'm paying off is the things that's coming in supposedly. So, Jazz Inc. 89 Batmobile last payment was made, so that's gonna ship soon. And I'm looking forward to that one. I think Jazz Inc. did an incredible job with that Batmobile, and what he's offering with what's going to be on it. I'm just like ecstatic, waiting for that. So that's coming in soon, hopefully another month or two. I haven't even unboxed my Batwing yet because I have to mount it, but eventually when I get these up, that'll be cool. I have. So Hot Toys is having some kind of a show going on for Back to the Future, Toy Sapiens, and they have actually no, Toy Sapiens is putting on some kind of a showcase, and it has like Hot Toys, basically Back to the Future memorabilia, clothing, props, Hot Toys. So I have bought a couple of things from them. One of them is a light box. I bought that. I wasn't even going to, but the showcase is only for like a certain period of time, so you got to order this up before it sells out. So I got a light box, Back to the Future, it's with their time circuit from the time machine.
Yeah.
Couple of plushies, which is like a hoverboard, the Marty McFlys, the kicks, and the school jacket that they have, the one that Marty McFly went to in the future, the Letterman jacket, that one, and I think that's it. Yeah,
You a Back to the Future?
Huge Back to the Future fan. Like I have stuff, I haven't even put them up yet. I'm just, yeah, I got almost everything.
Which one's your favorite? What movie?
My favorite is, that's hard. I'd say 2. Sounds generic. I love 1, but I'd say 2 because 2 taps into the whole future.
Yeah.
And the DeLorean, the hover conversion.
It's very rare that you get a movie that's better than the original. Like, part 2 or part 3. I think both of those are better than the first one.
Yeah,
it introduces you to the universe, but I think the second one and third one's better than the actual original movie. So.
Yeah, and then the part 2 actually it crosses with part 1, so you see a lot of elements from part 1 still in part 2 happening when he's trying to do his thing to try to get back to the past, to the future. That's it. But like I said, I'm trying to behave. Just trying to pay off stuff that I already have. Nothing too big. So. Yeah.
And you might be getting your first custom. Got it.
Probably.
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's get out of here.
All right, everybody. Anybody in the chat, thanks for coming through.
Appreciate you.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great night.